What is up, guys? Day 2 of Comic-Con for me has officially started. I have to get to the convention center a little bit early. It is, I think, 8:20-ish right now, and it doesn't open until 9:30. But that being said, I need to run right to the Dark Horse Comics booth in order to enter the drawing for the Resident Alien signing they're doing. I think the cast is going to be there signing posters for free. What else is on the agenda today? Maybe potentially the Lawrence brothers signing. David Desmalchin is doing a signing for his new book. I have a press junket for the new season of Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, which I'm really excited about. Can't film that, but I'll tell you guys all about it. And I think the big icing on the cake today is the Alien Earth signing. I don't know if Timothy Oliphant's going to be there. That would be so awesome if he was, but I saw a few things saying that he wasn't, that he doesn't do signings, and but I also saw no official confirmation that he hasn't done it, that he's not going to do it, so my fingers are crossed, and why don't we get straight to the convention center? One hill that I will always die on, the Spinosaurus is the most badass dinosaur in Jurassic Park. I'm not the most die-hard NECA collector, but the H2O Michael Myers and the Pamela Voorhees figure, those are definitely on my radar. Coming back to you from the hotel, Friday is in the books. I knew this was going to be my busy day. I have absolutely no life left in me, but I have to say this is by far one of, if not the best times I've ever had at a Comic-Con. There was so much stuff to do. It was pretty well managed too. That was kind of a complaint yesterday, and at the beginning of the day, the lines were a little bit funky, but after that, it was just smooth, amazing sailing ahead. The signings and the press junket that I went to were a really great time, but bar none, the highlight of my entire weekend so far has been meeting people that have said that they watched my videos in the past. Pat, David, Dan, and Fonzo13, who does very similar work to what I do, except he's on the West Coast, so he gets to do a lot of these fucking awesome events. I've been watching him for years. Getting to hear from people that they really like my videos, it's such a humbling experience knowing that people out there have made their way to my little part of the internet. I just post stuff that I love doing, and knowing that it brings others joy, it's so rewarding that I can't put it into words. So thank you to everyone that I got to meet today. It means more to me than you possibly know. With that being said, I'll get into the loot that I got today. I'll start off with something that I bought from one of the vendors. People that have been with the channel for a while know I typically don't buy that much stuff from the vendors. I try and talk myself down. You know, sometimes the price just isn't great, or the item that I see I'm not dying for. That being said, this I absolutely had to jump on. This is an original press junket thing back in the olden days. I think this is from when the movie came out, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. It's this little folder, and it came with stills from the movie. I'll show you some. Most notably, people that know me know that Blondie is my second. ABBA's my favorite band, but Blondie's number 2, and I love Debbie Harry. So it comes with all these production stills from the movie from when they were promoting. They'd give these to the press because this was before when screenings were a thing. I picked this up at a booth. I'm going to get footage to it tomorrow because it had so much amazing stuff. But I picked this up for only 20 bucks. This is an original, and it's in crazy good shape. Now getting into the signings, the first one on my agenda was the Ozgood Perkins monkey signing. I got this figure yesterday and I didn't want to carry it around with me, so I just figured that I'd bring the lid with me. A lot of people, the smart ones at least, brought the drum of the monkey figurine. I didn't even take the monkey figurine out of the box. I just took the lid off. That would have been a lot cooler. I wish I did that. Those people are definitely a lot smarter than I am, but I still think it came out pretty cool. And Ozgood Perkins was a cool guy. It was, I wouldn't say rushed, but there was a big line and he was only there for a limited time, so he was friendly to everybody and making sure that everyone got the signature, and you also got a picture with him as well. I didn't get it on video because I gave my camera to someone that was there taking photos. Like I said, I was only there for maybe 15 seconds, but The dude that was taking photos should not be there. He should be a professional photographer because, like I said, I was only there for a little bit. I got this photo, which I love because it looks like we're two long-lost friends having this emotional conversation. And then, of course, I got this, the actual one of the selfie with me and him. I also like how that one turned out. The dude that took photos at this booth, you deserve a raise. Amazing job. Thank you so much for these great photos. The next thing that I did was one of the more unique experiences that have happened to me at a con. I got invited to a press junket. I have a press pass because I write for a website called Pop Horror, and it was a press junket for the new season of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. I have been a Walking Dead fan since day one. In 2010, I forget how old I was, but I watched the first episode and I thought it was a movie. And then I watched episode 2 thinking, oh, there's a sequel to this movie. And I was too young and stupid to realize this is what a television show is. There's no straight up video recording of the cast, but I did get a picture of everyone that was there. And being that it was a press junket, I got to ask a question. The answers that everyone gave me were really long. It's probably 6 minutes. So if you want to listen to it, I'll put it at the end of this video. I'll put some cool graphics up maybe if I'm not dead tired by the time I'm editing this. But it was really cool. People that know me know that Carol has been my absolute favorite character forever. So it was cool to not only meet, but get teased a little bit by Melissa McBride. That was awesome. But after that ended at around 3 o'clock. I had a signing for Alien Earth at 3:05. At the beginning of the convention, I had to go and get this wristband, and at 3:05, I go to the Disney Hulu booth, and there would be a signing there. The thing that I think is strange, I've never seen a convention do it. I think New York Comic Con does similar stuff, but I've never seen something like this. I didn't know who was going to be there, except I think the director and the producer were announced for this, the new show, Alien Earth. I didn't know any of the cast members that were going to be there until I showed up and saw them there. Mintage Authentics, just a little background, announced a signing yesterday or this morning that Timothy Olyphant was going to be an exclusive signer. And I saw on some of the comments saying, oh yeah, he doesn't do conventions ever. He's going to be at the panel for Alien Earth, but he's not going to be doing the signing. And I was really bummed because he was the person that I wanted to meet the most. I love Timothy Olyphant. Scream 2 is up there definitely with my favorite Scream sequel, and Dreamcatcher, one of the more unique Stephen King movies, The Crazies, another classic. So I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise. I was still excited to get that, but lo and behold, I got there, he was there, and I was so freaking psyched. He was awesome. This is the poster that they gave you, and as you can see, I got a shit ton of signatures on it. It looks awesome. This is one of my favorite things that I have in my collection now. The thing that I just think is a little strange, I'm not complaining, but it's just a little weird because I am a really big fan of the Alien franchise, but it's just kind of strange because you can't go up to the actors and producers and creative team that are there signing and be like, oh, I love this show so much because it hasn't come out yet. So I just said, thank you so much for coming, and I'm so excited to see it for most of the people except Timothy Olyphant, who I knew from previous stuff. I went a little bit more in depth, as you can see by this video.
I'm so excited. Yeah, it's good. What's up? Yeah, for sure. Go ahead. How's it going? Absolutely good. How about you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
So excited. Thank you for coming.
Look who's over there. Who's over here?
Have a good day. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, you got pleasure.
Howdy. Nice to meet you. If Scream 2 and Dreamcatcher taught me anything, you and horror mix very well.
I appreciate you saying so.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Howdy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm so unbelievably excited. Thank you so much for coming.
No, pleasure.
Yeah.
Game good. It was like out of control. I loved it. I was like, everybody was so overacting in that one. Well, but it was.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Thank you for coming.
I think this whole cast signing thing is a really great way to promote something new, because even if I wasn't going to watch this before, now that I got this print with a bunch of signatures on it, I kind of have to watch it now just to hope that what I got was good. But it's Alien, and it's executively produced by Ridley Scott, so you know it's going to be amazing. I also didn't realize how exclusive these signings were. I knew I was pretty lucky to get it, but when I was in line, this woman came up to me, tapped me on the shoulder, and said, "Hey, how much?" And I'm thinking, is she talking about me? Does she think I'm a prostitute or something? But then she's like, for the wristband, how much do you want for the wristband? And I really didn't want to sell it, especially because at this point I knew that Timothy Olyphant was going to be there. So I was like, I'm sorry, this was the biggest reason that I want, but maybe you'll have better luck somewhere else. But I think she did end up just asking one of the people at Hulu, and there was enough space, so she did get in. So it was a happy ending for everybody. With that being said, that was my Friday at this convention, one of the most draining days, but like I said, one of the best experiences between meeting people that I watched my videos, the merch that I got, and the signings. It was just such a blast. I've never seen Ozgood Perkins do a convention before, and as Mintich said, the Timothy Oliphant signing is really exclusive because it's only his second signing ever, and he doesn't do cons. This is, I believe, his first ever public signing. I could be wrong, but at least from what I've seen. So I feel very, very lucky that I got to attend. But that's a wrap on everything that I have to show you guys today. Tomorrow, not as busy. There's some stuff on my radar, especially this exclusive Nathan Fillion signing. I doubt I'll be able to get a wristband for that though, because if you don't show up first thing in the morning, you're probably not going to get it. But maybe the gods will shine light on me tomorrow. We'll see. Only one way to find out, and that is by watching the video that I have going up tomorrow. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this one, and I hope to see you in another. Bye. So this is for everyone that's been there since the original. Without dating myself, I've been watching since day one. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 1 or 2 years since the beginning. Yeah, and my question is, what's something that you missed about filming and creating the original seasons, and what's something you like about creating the newest season?
It feels a lot like the early years of Walking Dead, like the first 3 years. That show became so big, right? And you had such a large cast of people. You formed these bonds. Like Andy would be. He would call me on the way to work. He'd spend his lunch break in my trailer, talk to me about today. We would wrap, we'd get in the car, he'd call me immediately to talk about what we did that day. There's this bond formed, and then we started killing characters off all the time. And, you know, the new characters, I think, sometimes didn't understand what we did to get there, right? Because you're immediately an action figure. You immediately come to a Comic-Con and you're a superhero, you know, but there was a certain, I mean, we did that show in the beginning, all our agents told us not to do it, you know, and we didn't know how big it would get or how long it would last, but there was a bond that formed, and Melissa and I had that bond right away back in Georgia. So having she and I in the new show in Europe, it felt like, oh, we know. Like there's a relationship that you can't fake. You can't pretend to know each other as well as you know each other. Like we actually do. So it gave us a shorthand, I think, making the show, and we didn't take any of it for granted. You know, so that enthusiasm was put into our everyday work. It was already ingrained in us. So it felt like that again.
I think for me too, because I was there from the beginning, from day one. So going on that journey with everyone, you know, look, it's I always say when you're in the trenches together, you're sort of fighting this war together. You know, you find yourselves relying on everybody around you, and you have a deep trust. You know, I mean, I remember when we first started doing the show, and the actors would come out of their makeup trailer, and we were right across from the zombies. So, like, I remember Sarah Callies would say, I have nightmares every night looking at the shit that comes out of your trailer. But they would do. And the zombies never sat with the actors. The zombies would all sit by themselves. And it was, but by making that unique contribution to the show, I developed a really different relationship with the actors, because they could physically see what I was contributing to the show. Because you read the script and you're like, you know, people didn't grow up on zombies like I did, you know, with George Romero. So they're like, we're not really sure, what is this about? And then they see the zombies coming to set and they're like, oh, wow, holy shit, you know, in the first trailer. So I feel like I've been sort of going on that same journey with them since the beginning, which is unique and also definitely different, you know.
People had babies in real life, people got married, you know.
Yeah. My kids literally thought Andy and Norman were their uncles for years and years. Like, they one day finally did and said, they're not really my uncles, are they? I'm like, well, sort of they are, but not technically.
I would say everything. But I was there for day 2 or a year or 2, which I think was awesome because I was a fan for other comics in the first season. And so much so I didn't want to do the show because I didn't want to see how the sausage was made. And to watch people on TV that characters that you like, and then suddenly on set, working with them. That's crazy, but then you're building a relationship, working relationship with an incredible crew that you do 16 episodes a week with. That you're doing it on a pretty regular schedule, like May to November, year after year. And it was also doing so well that you could project out, okay, say we lose half the audience next year, then half the audience. You could project out stories 3 years in advance. And then, just the idea, and this is such, it's crazy that it's so different, that, oh my God, on Sunday night, people are going to see this. And they're all going to see it at the same time, except for these Christmas ones. And to anticipate that right up until they show it. And then everybody is experiencing it together. And you know the cast, the crew, the producers, writers are watching it all along with the audience at the same time. It was a remarkable gift. I think we live in a lonelier time. And I think when you turn on Netflix, what's the first thing it asks you? Who's watching? Is this person, that person, that person? It isn't everybody together. It's like, just to remind you, you live in a cold and unfeeling universe.